Texas League Baseball is next. And a good Friday evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to Weekend Baseball. And now, here is the star of the show and the voice, the San Antonio Missions, Johnny Baker. Thank you, Bob, and a good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you into All-American Ballpark here in North Little Rock, Arkansas. It is the fourth game of our six-game set between the visiting San Antonio Missions and your Arkansas Travelers. Well, tonight after the ball game, sit back, relax, enjoy the best spectacle of all fireworks shows, courtesy of Arkansas Travelers. Series continues tomorrow evening at 7:05, our first pitch. So far, we will have another epic fireworks show after the ball game, so make sure you get in and attend to those. Series wraps up, and so far, the Arkansas Travelers will conclude their first half at home against San Antonio, and next 2 weeks, it'll be on the road as Arkansas heads to Springfield and Amarillo to conclude the first half of the regular season. Missions return home. They take on Amarillo. Then they'll head to Midland to close out the first half. And so far, a pretty good one indeed for the Texas League. Well, I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Bob. And I got to say, hello, Bob. How you doing?
Doing good there, Johnny. How are you doing?
Doing good. Well, anyway, last night, Arkansas took a 5-1 victory against San Antonio last night. And I got to say, that was a pretty good ball game.
Yeah, I got to say, Johnny, it was a very good ball game. And got to say, what a win for Arkansas going into that third of the six-game series.
That's right. Well, anyway, we'll go ahead and give you final scores from last night. Arkansas winning against San Antonio. Final score 5-1. Tulsa beats Corpus Christi 3-2. Midland winning against Wichita 6-0. Frisco 12-8 beat Amarillo in that game last night, and I got to say, that was a pretty good ball game, especially with the severe weather that went through the area. And got to say, that was a pretty wicked ball game going into this one. But anyway, brand new night for Arkansas Travelers baseball. And so far, for the second consistent time in a row, Arkansas is dressing up in their blue and whites again. And so far, going to be a pretty good one. San Antonio to the Road Grays. And yeah, I got to say, they are nicely clean after a laundry mat, washing them and getting them back nicely clean for the Missions here in tonight. Well, anyway, it is a hot and humid evening as we get going. It is mostly cloudy skies as we get into this evening. And so far, going to be a pretty good one here tonight. But we'll take you down on the field now as we present tonight's broadcast here at All-American. And so far, going to be a pretty interesting evening.
Yeah, I got to say, John, it's going to be a good one here tonight. Is getting going here in Game 4 of the 6 games here in Arkansas.
The left-hander is Cade Anderson as he gets on the mound for Arkansas. And we look at that, 101 mile per hour on the four-seamer, curveball slider, and a changeup also getting in for the Arkansas Diamantes here this evening. The shortstop is Clay Dungan as we are set to go here tonight. The top of the first inning for San Antonio. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that one is in for the strike. And we are underway here tonight at 7:05.
We made the pregame show short and sweet here tonight as just getting underway here tonight. Boy, it is a mostly cloudy sky. A lot of clouds around the area as getting going. Here's the 0-2, and that one is going to ricochet right off the bat and still holding no balls and 2 strikes. Boy, Arkansas winning 2 in a row against San Antonio. So far, a pretty good one. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that one is going to be outside. And the count now at 1-2. Well, Springfield and Northwest Arkansas was rained out yesterday. The final score through the first game, Springfield 7, Northwest Arkansas 5. And that was through 7 innings there in game 1, and now they are into game 2 as we speak here tonight. Well, that one down and out in left field, and that will do for out number 1. The San Antonio starting lineups look like this here tonight, and so far, second baseman Marcos Castañon is off tonight. So, gotta say, pretty nice as getting going for him. Center fielder is Kai Roberts as he comes in. Boy, tell you one thing, a pretty good one. We'll go ahead and give you the score. Boy, Springfield just hitting the ball pretty good. Game 2, 7-1, bottom of the third. Few more innings tonight there at Blue River Stadium. And I got to say, it's going to be pretty good as they get going there, Bob. I got to say, after being rained out yesterday, making up that doubleheader, I think Springfield could take 2 of those games out of Northwest Arkansas. And so far in their, Springfield's ballpark, they could take it against their opponent, Northwest Arkansas. Yeah. I will say they're not at Riverboat Field in North Little Rock, but I would say, that would be an understatement right there. Well, Ethan Salas coming in. The count now 0-1 to him as he comes in. And that one is going to be in for a strike. The count now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count the pitch. And that one's going to be high fly in the air, straight away. In foul grounds, they cannot get it. And both of them, short and third basemen, will go after it. And they come up empty-handed. And that one's going to be high fly in the air, straight away up to left field. And that will be the half inning. Well, no runs hit to Rivers and nobody left on for San Antonio here tonight. So we are on now to the bottom of the first. On this Friday night, it's no score through 1.5. So we'll be right back here in the Arkansas Travelers Baseball Network as we bring you the bottom of the first coming up. Well, just about set to go for the bottom of the first inning for Arkansas. Right now, the Travelers Baseball Network. Well, thank you, Bob. A left-hander, Jackson Wolf, on the mound now for San Antonio, as he gets ready to go here for the bottom of the first. So we look, the four-seam, curveball, changeup, two-seam, and a sweeper. 5 pitches for him on his scouting report. And here is JT Arruda as he comes in. And here is the pitch, and that one is going to be out of play, foul. The count now 0-1. Boy, there was rain and thunderstorms last night in Amarillo. That was crazy. And that's going to be down and in for a base hit as JT Arruda gets on. And pretty good right there. Here's the center fielder, Bill Knight. Here's the pitch, and that is going to be out of play, foul, and the count now 0-1. Boy, after tonight, it will be 2 home games left of the first half in Arkansas. Travelers will be on the road for the next 2 weeks after this one. Well, Springfield and Amarillo both being their opponents on the road. No balls, 2 strikes, the count now, and here is the pitch. And that one is going to be out of play. And the count now 0-2. Runner at first, nobody out here in the bottom of 1. That one right there to third. Rosemond Verdugo, and they get them both. Taco Bell double play. And all the way from San Antonio, they can easily get those coupons rolling in. And so far, that is what they get. That is for sure. 2 down, and here is Hunter Fitzgerald. Well, we welcome everybody that's watching from San Antonio, and so far, a few more days, and the Missions will be back home as we take on the Amarillo Sod Poodles in a 6-game series, and then they'll be off to Midland to close off the first half. Man, I tell you, John, this has been a really long first half here in the regular season, but as we get ready for the second half to start up against 9 ball clubs, that would be pretty good. Now, that is for sure. That one is in for the strike. The count now 0-1. 2 down, runner in second. Bottom of the first inning here for Arkansas. Well, Corpus Christi, Frisco, Amarillo, Springfield, Frisco, Northwest Arkansas, Amarillo, or actually Midland, I should say. The Rockhounds will go first, and then Amarillo will close off the second half of that. Here is the 0-2, and that's going to be a high pop-up straightaway. And up in right field is Braden Carpathios to make the play, and that ends the inning. Well, nothing doing here. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Second inning coming up, and it is no score through 1. First baseman Romeo Sanabria getting ready to go as we lead it off here in the second for San Antonio. And here's the pitch. That one is down and outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So it'll be Corpus Christi, Frisco. It'll be Amarillo. Or I think I'm getting that right, but... Well, I think you are, but continue what you were saying there, John. Okay, so anyway, we'll have the road games in Amarillo. We'll come back and take on Springfield, road in Frisco, coming back and taking on Northwest Arkansas and Springfield.
And then it'd be Midland and Amarillo. There you go. Yeah, you got it right on that one. First time around, you got it wrong, but second time around, you corrected that mistake and you got it right. Well, thank you there, Bobby. Yeah, right there and out number one as that goes down. And that's the second strikeout. As Romeo Sanabria being the first man out for San Antonio. Don't think it'd be too long before a 2027 schedule is revealed. Right fielder Braden Carpathios coming in as he gets in. But tonight, Marcos Castañon being off from playing tonight, so that's pretty nice for him. He's had a few weeks where he played for the Missions, and literally he earned his time off. No balls and 2 strikes account now to Carpathios. 1 man down, nobody on here in the second inning for the Missions. And that one is going to be outside as 1-2. So far, love the blue and whites. Just kind of reminds me of the Christmas colors, like winter. But evidently, we all wish it was winter time and it'd be nice and cool and everybody in their jackets and huge sleeve sweaters and all types of things. And don't forget blankets. Oh, yes, of course. We won't ever forget about blankets. You know, it takes me back to that time back in 2018 when I was up in Midland with my dad, my uncle, my brother. You know, we were there watching the Midland Rockhounds take on the Springfield Cardinals. And boy, it was cold. The wind was cold. It was 33 degrees. And for the month of April, I said to myself, daggum, this is chilly. Yeah, well, West Texas, where you're from, is always chilly. You know, you can have a chilly early to late March or something, or it could be early April. I mean, when you start the first half of the regular season, you could have temperature change, and that's what you could have in the start of a regular season. And I'll bet you that's what happened there in Midland there, Johnny. Yeah, I bet you're right there, too, there, Bob. Well, that's going to be up and down as that will be out number 3, and the side is retired. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio. Now we're 2.5, still no score here in Arkansas. And got to say, what a good first base area pick right there to view for the camera. And that would be pretty good. Caleb Cali coming in now as we lead it off in the bottom of the Arkansas second. We welcome you back to the broadcast as we get going, and that one is in for the strike. And the count now at 0-1. Well, we give you some early scores. Boy, Tulsa leading Corpus Christi in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Midland leading Wichita 2-0. And Frisco, boy howdy, bottom of the 5th, and they lead 7-0. They are doing really well. And so far, pretty good. That one is skied high in the air to Braden Carpathios as he takes that one for out number 1. Boy, Springfield doing good as they took that first game of the doubleheader and that final score up 7-5. Now they are up 7-1 in game 2. But that right there, pretty good. Jared Sundstrom coming in as he gets that one high in the air. But up to right field as Braden Carpathios intercepts that one. And now 2 of those fastballs went straight for him. Spencer Packard, the left fielder, coming in. Pretty good for him. And boy, so far I don't think we had a Arkansas defensive alignment. But anyway, I guess if Arkansas has changed their lineup cards overnight, well, I got to say, I guess that's good because of last night
the players that played in that game are getting some much needed time off. Well, 2 out and a runner at second. Here is Jacob Nottingham as he comes in, trying to get something going, and that's in for a strike. The count now 0-1. So pretty nice as we look at it. Blue and white with Nike shoes. It's always good. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high fly in the air. And the straightaway left field to Kai Murphy, and that will be the side retired. No runs, a hit, no errors, one left. And that is 2 innings in the books here tonight in Arkansas. Third inning set to go as we take a break here. Rosemond Verdugo will lead the third for San Antonio when we come back.
Well, we are just about set for the top of the third right now on the Arkansas Travelers Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Bottom half of the order, Rosemond Verdugo getting set to go as he leads it off for San Antonio. And that one is high and outside for ball one. 1-0 the count. Boy, starting to see that hue as we get going for this third inning. That one is high and out of play, foul. The count now 1-1. The moon is rising up. We can see it. And boy, it is full. This big, huge night of baseball here in All-American Ballpark. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count, and that one is high and outside, so that'll even up at 2-2. It was a hot, humid day today, and yeah, there in San Antonio, it was 97 degrees. Kind of felt like it was 108 degrees, but most evidently, we always check the weather just to make sure that we know what's going on. And especially what we did yesterday, keeping people safe, especially the panhandle of Texas going over the Texas-Oklahoma border where the thunderstorms and also a tornadic activity looking sail was just outside to the west of Woodward. But now, so far as we look at it, it's just one of them times when severe weather can always come at a distance. Yeah, Johnny, really, I mean, this is the time of year. The summer is unexpectedly hot, but you know that the thunderstorms are a prime thing in the summer months, especially with tornado season starting in early April. Yep. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch. That one is outside, 2-2. Well, have you heard from Duncan at all, any? Well, I've talked to him just a little bit, but most evidently him and his family are doing good. Gotta like that. And so far they haven't had any dangerous weather. But, that tornado watch last night didn't produce anything. They just kept it on Tulsa, and it went off at 11. Luis Verdugo coming in as he comes in, as that's a swing and a miss. The count now at 0-1. Verdugo playing the second base tonight as he'll fill in for Marcos Castañon. Which that'd be pretty nice. Midland leading 3-2 against Wichita. No score here in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Third inning of this half, and that's going to be popped up right there. And right in front of the fans by the backstop, and that will do it. But no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody on for San Antonio as we go 3.5, still no scores. Well, it will be the bottom of the third. Here is the shortstop, Axel Sanchez, as he gets ready to go here. 9-1-2, bottom of the third for Arkansas as they come in. And that one's going to be bashed right there. Straightaway left field to Kai Murphy as he will intercept that one for the first out of the inning. JT Aruda, the 1-for-1 single. Arkansas in a 2-game winning streak. San Antonio on the road in a 2-game losing streak. Trying to come back and clinch a win here tonight. And that one is in for a strike. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on here in the third for the Arkansas Travelers. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. They got him. Boy, they blew it right by him. And that is out number 2. Here is Bill Knight. And that one is going to be hit foul. The countdown, 0-1. 0-1 to ground out by Bill Knight. But yeah, pretty interesting stories about what you say about Midland there, John. Yeah. You know, Midland has been my home for 20 years. Back when I was a baby, and then I grew up. And then after that, well, it was 20 years. Right after that, I graduated high school, and then we moved to San Antonio right after that. Right there, straight to Sanabria. He takes it himself, and the inning comes to an end. Well, how did you feel about leaving leaving the Midland area? I know, I was kind of sad right after that. But no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for Arkansas. Fourth inning coming up. And, yep, here is Clay Dungan, the shortstop, as he comes in. So Midland, you know, you got pretty sad when you left that area. It was a big home for you. Yeah, it sure was. But, you know, the West Texas region is all about the West Texas crude oil, big, huge jackrabbits, rattlesnakes, and it's just desert. That's all it is. It's desert all the way to Ozona, if you ask me. But, you know, Texas is Texas for you, and what do you expect out of that, you know? Yeah, I gotta say, John, you're not wrong about that. That is for sure. And that is ball 4, so he'll lose him on 4 pitches. Or should I say, that would be 5, right? Yep, that's 5. 5 pitches right there, and here is Kai Roberts. So let's go back over again the rehearsement of the second half schedule. So without looking, well, you would go the second half. No. Okay, so you're going to say it, and I'm going to hear you say it. Okay. So Corpus Christi, Frisco, Amarillo, Springfield, Frisco, Northwest Arkansas, Springfield, Midland, and Amarillo. There you go. So now you got it. Now the fans know where San Antonio is going to be. Yep. So that is the second half right there, and I mean, so far pretty good. Well, after tonight, 2 games left in Arkansas, and I bet the Arkansas Travelers will get ready to hit the Springfield after Sunday's game and spend 2 weeks on the road. They head to Springfield first, and then Amarillo second. Thank you, mate. And that again, boy, look at that. The second walk comes in. So 2 walks inherited by Cade Anderson. And now that's going to be trouble for Arkansas. Oh, yeah. The trouble gets on when you get people on those base paths right there. Yeah. And that's right there, the countdown, 0-1. But the good holdup about it is these San Antonio Missions, they know what they do, and they can hold up. A great plate discipline is always the best interest of this ball club. Yeah, I got to say, John, you're not wrong about that, but you know, it's always good to be a great holdup. That is for sure. Here is the pitch downstairs, 1-2. Well, you got to hold up in time to get something going or get a base hit to save your hide. And right there, that's a swing and a miss, and down he goes. And the 6th strikeout going to Cade Anderson. Boy, just tell you one thing, rough around the edges when you come in and you swing and you miss and then you go down on strikes. Boy, it's just like you're in a circus or something. But right there,
Romeo Sanabria coming in as the count now 0-1, 0-for-1 strikeout here tonight. 2 men on after 2 initiated walks. And here's the pitch, and that's going to be a high pop-up, and that will put in the infield fly rule, and that will be 2 down.
Right fielder, number 22.
Not always the best thing here. You know, you pop it up, and then you feel, oh, darn. Well, why did you do that for? You put it out there, and that's just rough around the edges when you get 2 walks on and you feel like you're fixing to lose the battle by leaving them stranded. Yeah, that is for sure. Up to the right field, and boy, John, you're absolutely right there. They do get left stranded, so no runs, hits, or errors, and 2 left on those initiated walks. And now going to the bottom of the 4th as Hunter Fitzgerald will come in. Yep, and there we go. So, yes, as Bob says, we are no score through 4.5 as we get ready to go for Arkansas. Hunter Fitzgerald will be next on for the Travelers. Well, we're about set to go for the bottom of the fourth right now on the Arkansas Travelers Baseball Network. No score as we head to the bottom of this half inning. Thank you, Bob. 3-4-5 due up for the Arkansas Travelers. That one is going to be out of play. Foul. The countdown 0-1. No balls, one strike. The pitch, and that's going to be high in the air, straightaway center. And Kai Roberts will race to get there to make the play. And that is the half out number one. Right fielder is Lazaro Montes, 0 for 1 flyout. Wind up and the pitch, and that is going to be in for the strike. The count now 0-1. Boy, Frisco doing pretty good there in Amarillo, 7-3 against the Sod Poodles. Pretty good right there, John, and I got to say pretty good. Uh-oh, and then we got an injury. At the conclusion of the last play, Lazaro Montes was seen clutching at the midsection. The trainer believes that Montes may have pulled something in the obliques or the ab region. Montes will need to be removed from this game and need to take an easy few days off. All right, the pitch hitter here tonight for Arkansas is about ready to get going. And so far, that is Sammy Serrani. Yes, he comes in. Boy, unexpectedly, you have an injury that comes in. And yes, the one in Tulsa where Francisco Acuna got injured by an ankle injury. That was way serious than the serious one that we had just a while ago. But we hope and pray that Lazaro Montes will be okay. We'll keep him thoughts and prayers as they will go do an MRI in the Arkansas hospital. And so far, they'll see what's going on with him. But if nothing is going on, if he didn't pull anything, well, I hope that's a good thing too. Because, the Arkansas Travelers will want to see him in the rest of this homestand and even on the road going to Springfield next week. Caleb Kelly getting on as that's the 2-out single continuing the half inning. Boy, Wichita and Midland are tied at 3-3. Bottom of the 7th inning. But don't forget, we do have post-game fireworks after tonight's ball game, so we want everybody to make sure that y'all stay behind and watch the greatest of all speciality type fireworks shows. It's a great specialty for the Travelers here tonight as we honor the 250th of America's freedoms here in this one. Here is the 0-2. And that one is out of play, found. The countdown 0-2. Well, so far, what do you think about Pride Month there, John? I think it's a total sham that we see Pride Month. And so far, when we look at it, it's a disrespect. It's not even a holiday. It's just a obnoxious way of saying, oh, I hate this, I hate that, but, so far it's just a obnoxious thing. But we head to the 5th inning, and still no score here in Arkansas. Well, the designated hitter is Albert Fabian. And I did read some news articles about Pride Month, and so far in the Major League Farm System, and I don't know where this was, but they wanted the team in the Major League to wear a pride hat. And they said no to it. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, why are they being enforced to wear something they don't want to wear? Exactly. That's what I was thinking. And they said, no, we are not going to wear that. And it's good that they stood their ground and they told them, no. No is the answer, that we are not going to wear this crap on the field. You know, John, you speak the valid truth that Pride Month is not important, but the 250th of remembering America's freedoms by the veterans that we had, and especially those that continue to serve, and that's why we have Military Appreciation Wednesday, is to tell our troopers, the people that serve in uniform, that we are thankful for their service, and that's what we are thankful for. Agreed, and I would say the same thing. But I tell you one thing, Bob, it is always important because we always are thankful for our men and women, those that serve the communities. We are just so thankful for them. And, those that serve in uniform are always going to be respected. And I say this, Pride Month, it doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter, because it needs to be discarded. What does it represent? It represents nothing. And, people that are delusional, they'd be like, oh, I celebrate this holiday. What holiday is it? But anyway, here's the pitch, and that's a countdown 1 and 2. And they got a flag of it. They would put it up, and they would say, oh, you're going to celebrate this or else what? But anyway, that will do for this half inning. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on. Bottom of the fifth, and yep, good old third base shot right there, looking off that way. Spencer Packard, the left fielder, coming in is 1 for 1. And so far they do have a pride flag, but in Nelson Wolff Stadium, we are not going to have that. That one straight away, and that one is gone. Packard putting that one 108 miles per hour. The exit velocity. But tell you one thing there, Bob, I do speak the truth about why that thing, why Pride Month should be banished. And why America's freedom will always continue to be a land of the free and home of the brave. Because it is always about our people, the veterans, those that continue to serve. It's always about them. That's what it's always been about. Exactly there, Johnny. Axel Sanchez, the shortstop, came in. Is 0 for 1 with the line out. But you may have somebody that goes in and, my cousins, they both served in the Navy. My grandpa served in the Marines. He served 6 years in the Marines, and he loved it. He loved working on airplanes, because that's what he did in the Marines. Runner. And there's a runner. He's going. And that would be a swipe out to second base, and that's a stolen base. Boy, tell you one thing, they sure fooled them right there. But yes, we do thank our men and women that serve in uniform. And that's why we have Military Appreciation Day Wednesday. And everybody in the attendance, whether home or away, they come into the ball game for free. Just show the proof of your valid military ID. Bill Knight coming in, runner at second. Arkansas leading this game 1-0. And, I just gave my valid reason on why Pride Month should be disbarred. and I think it should. Here's the 0-1. And that is right there, the count now 0-2. But you know, the 4th of July comes up in a few weeks from now. And we all going to be popping fireworks. We're all going to have cookouts. We're all going to be with family and friends celebrating 250 great years of America's birthday. 1-2. And that one hit down to Sanabria. And that will be out number 3. But Spencer Packard getting going. But he had a pretty good line drive to right field, and that was through for a solo home run. Arkansas now leading 1-0. Well, as we get into the halfway point on this Friday night, for Arkansas now 1-0 against San Antonio. And boy, just a lot of 3-up, 3-down innings and a no-hitter situation for the Missions. Yes, telling the stories and all types of stuff, especially what's been going on and just the drama around what goes on. Right-hander Gabe Mosser is getting on for Arkansas, as he'll be the reliever, and the second baseman is Luis Verdugo, as he'll come in to start in the top half of the 6th inning for San Antonio. We'll be right back after this. Well, just about set to go for the top half of the sixth inning right now on the Arkansas Travelers Baseball Network. Well, anyway, I do have something else to say about Military Appreciation Night, that every Military Appreciation Night, whether road or home, every military member is welcome to come in. Come into the ball game, because that ball game is always on us, and that's going to be a line drive. That is getting down through for the base hit, and that's going to be a Luis Verdugo double. A double meat cheeseburger coupon courtesy of those there in Nelson Wolff Stadium in San Antonio. That is for sure. Gabe Mosser not happy about that as he gave up that hit. But yes, back to the ball game now. We're not going to talk about Pride Month or any of that trash on here. Clay Dungan, the shortstop, is 0 for 1, a walk. But, come out to the ball game on Wednesdays. You are always free to come in if you are military personnel. And that is going to be strike 2. But yes, well, we'll get back to the ball game and we'll shut up about that. Kind of sound like a hen clucking when you think about it. You're funny. Oh, center fielder Kai Roberts is coming in. It's 0 for 1 and a walk. Boy, just a beautiful evening. Orange and blue. And right back to the mound is out number 2 as he gives it straight to first. And Kai Roberts being that second out. Well, Ethan Salas coming in 0 for 2. A strikeout and a flyout. Boy, and I tell you one thing, if San Antonio takes this loss, boy, it'd be 35-38 for them. Amarillo, boy, they're doing pretty good. They are 1 run trailing Frisco. The Frisco Rough Riders 7-6. Midland 5, Wichita 3. And Tulsa leading Corpus Christi 3-0. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Springfield 8-1 against Northwest Arkansas. And here's the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss, and they got him. And that is out number 3. So no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. And we head now to the bottom of the 6th. Hunter Fitzgerald will lead it off, and we are going to be right back. Hunter Fitzgerald coming in now as we'll lead off the bottom of the 6th. Jackson Wolf now at 45 pitches for the start for San Antonio. Will take an inside strike. The count now 0-1. Here is the 0-1 delivery. And that's going to be right there. And up to left field. And that is out number 1. Well, you look at Jackson Wolf, the 4-seam, a 77%. As he's been doing really good, getting to 3 up, 3 down innings. But Arkansas leads this game 1-0. And here is the pitch, and that's going to be high fly in the air to straightaway. And the center field is Kai Roberts as he makes the play.
Now batting, third baseman, number 19.
Could be another 1-2-3 half inning, and here is Caleb Cali. The pitch, and that is in for the strike. The count now 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Right there, straightaway second. Throw down in time to
Sanabria as he'll make the play for the out. Well, the seventh inning comes in as Sanabria, Carpathios, and Fabian will lead it off. And it's a 1-0 ball game here in Arkansas. The Travelers out in front by 1.
Number 93.
Romeo Sanabria coming in as we lead off the top of the seventh inning. Only 9 outs remain for San Antonio. That one's going to be high in the air, straightaway center, and that is out number 1.
Now batting, right fielder, number 22.
But I tell you one thing, I do apologize if I was talking about Pride Month, which, I guess we have the right to say what we want to say, right, Bob? Well, yeah, John, but don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up and, just say what you believe in. If you believe in a military, good. But our military, they did a lot more than what they did, and that was a service for their sacrifice for the freedoms that we have here today. Amen to that. Man, you speak real good there, Bob. Sounded like you served in the military. Well, my father did. Oh, really? Yeah, he served during World War I and World War II, and then the Korean War right after that. And, he went in and he served and did his time, and after that he was killed in action. And, growing up, I didn't really know my dad at the time. Oh, man, I'm sorry, Bob. But, I gotta say, it's one of them things, We are sorry for your loss, and we pay a great deal of gratitude to your dad. And that one is high fly in the air straight away to center field, and that is out number 3. Well, it's time now for the 7th inning stretch here in Arkansas, and ooh, look at that cloud. Ain't it pretty? It's a big thunderstorm cloud, it looks, but anyway, it kind of does look like it. Well, we head to the bottom of the 7th inning as Jared Sundstrom will be the next one for Arkansas. So we'll lead it off when we come back.
Well, we are just about set to go for the bottom of the seventh inning right now on the Arkansas Travelers Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. 678. Jared Sundstrom leading it off for Arkansas as fouls that one off. The count now 0-1. Boy, Midland 6-3 against Wichita, which that is pretty good as they'll try to get in another W as they did last night. And the catch. And that one is going to be out of play, foul. And the count now at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to pitch. And that is a called third strike. They got him. And that is out number 1. But we look at the 5th inning, and yes, the lone 1-run hit was all they needed to push across through to unbreak the tie. And that was Spencer Packard, who is 2 for 2 of this game. And that one is going to be out of play, foul. And the count now at 0-1. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that one out of play. Boy, as Arkansas will start the second half taking on Wichita. Man, I got to say, John, I mean, that right there is strike 3.
Catcher, number 26.
Well, that'll bring in Jacob Nottingham. And here is the first pitch, and that one's right there. And that will end the half inning. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for Arkansas as we head to the 8th inning. And it is a 1-0 lead here in this one.
Now pitching, number 63.
Austin Kitchen coming in now. Boy, look at the ERA, 14-14. 471 over a 381. Averaging a right-handed batter to a left-handed batter, which that right there is pretty good. Rosemond Verdugo getting ready to go here. And the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss, and the count now at 0-1. All right, well, Corpus Christi got beat tonight by Tulsa. Final score 3-0. Boy, I bet you the Springfield is going to win this game, so it would be a 2-game series sweep in a doubleheader. They won 7-5 in the first game. Now it'll be 14-1, top of the 6th inning. Ouch. Boy, I don't think Northwest Arkansas is going to win that one. No. So 1-2 the count now to Verdugo. And the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss. Throw down, and in time to complete the play is out number 1.
Now batting, left fielder, Kai Murphy.
Well, the left fielder, Kai Murphy, coming in now is 0 for 2 and 2 strikeouts. Boy, Wichita trying to come back there in Midland. 6-4. Boy, that is a game that they are trying to tie up against the Rockhounds. Boy, and Wichita wearing their reds and Midland wearing their oranges, which that is pretty good colors right there. 2 outs to go for the Rockhounds. They got at least one more to do with Wichita, and it will be an end to that ball game there in Midland.
11.
Boy, really love Franco Park. It's a great place for the Rockhounds, and it's a good thing here on the show. That's a great place. Boy, Frisco leading 7-6, top of the 8th inning there at Wateridge Field in downtown Amarillo. But yeah, we got to check the weather and make sure that we all know that everything is quiet on this very night. And that is right there for the called strike 3, and that will end the inning. Well, we're midway through 8.5. Arkansas leading it. It's 1-0.
Leading off, the short
Axel Sanchez, the shortstop coming in, is 1 for 2 single. And boy, I tell you one thing. Whoa. It looked like Amarillo, boy, they better get their game in because another wave of severe thunderstorms just off to their west. Boy, 70-mile-per-hour winds, 75-inch hail. And I got to say, going to be an active night again for Amarillo. That one is right there. The count now at 1-1. Well, the Rockhounds secured the victory, and they win 2 in a row against the Wichita Wind Surge. And that's right there, straight away. And that is straight away to the third baseman, Verdugo to Sanabria, and that is out number 1. JT Aruda coming in now, 1 for 3. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is in for the strike. The count now 0-1. Well, 2 more home games left, so make sure you guys get your tickets now at arkansasbaseball.com. No balls and 2 strikes. And that one ricochets right off the bat. The count now 0-2. Here's the 0-2 offering, and that one is chopped foul. Well, the final score there in Midland, 6-4. And the Rockhounds will win that one. Well, in Springfield, they have 14-1 against Northwest Arkansas. I think that game is cooked. Naturals will just have to surrender and defeat on that one.
Oh.
That one right there, the count now 1-2. 1-2, here is the pitch. And that one foul. One and two. Here's the pitch. High in the air, straight away center. Kai Roberts getting after it, makes the play, and that's out number 2.
center fielder.
One more for Arkansas here tonight. Here is Bill Knight. Here is Knight, who is 0 for 3 of the ball game tonight. The 0-1. That was the count now, 0-2. Oh, and 2, here's the delivery. That's a high pop-up, and that is foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, they got him. Well, blew it right by him for the out, and that is how the inning comes to an end. Well, no runs hit to errors and nobody left on for Arkansas. Top of the 9th inning set to go, and it's 1-0 Travelers. Ryan Lutos coming in now, and boy, 12.75 ERA with 3.75 over a 3.47.
Leading off,
Top of the 9th inning, and here is the shortstop, Clay Duncan. Boy, down to the last 3 outs for San Antonio here tonight.
And that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Tying run is Dungan. And hopefully trying to get this game tied so we could go into the bottom of the ninth. And that one right there, the count now 0-2. Boy, still a little bit of daylight left, and so far pretty good on that. That one right there, line drive, and that is through for the base hit. And San Antonio's second hit of the night. Boy, and they have gave up every single inning here tonight. But the ninth inning can still be up for a great success. Well, that just depends if they could get base hits going tonight. Also some home runs. They haven't scored in anything. Yeah, that is for sure. That is right there. Right to third. And boy, that is out number one as that was stopped.
Number 90.
And boy, I tell you what there, Bob, that was rough. That's a rough out number one. Ethan Salas coming in now. 1-on-1 out, top of the ninth. Arkansas in front, 1-0. And that one is out of play, and that goes foul. No balls and one strike the count, and here's the pitch. Oh, excuse me. 0-2 the count. Sound like you're getting tired there, Johnny. Yeah, you're no kidding. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Ooh, ouch, and that got him.
Now batting, first baseman, number 96.
And I tell you one thing there, John. You do not want to hit batters while you're in this half inning. Well, that's one thing you don't want to do. And that one is fouled off. Romeo Sanabria coming in, who is 0 for 3. And the pitch. And that one's going to be lofted high in the air, straight away to right center. And there he goes. He's going after it. And that's the out. Ball game over. And Arkansas wins it by 1-0 here tonight. And the Travelers now picking up their 44th of the season. 44 for Arkansas, the 38th for San Antonio. Boy, I tell you what, that was a pretty good ball game here tonight. All right, Midland picking up their 33rd as they beat Wichita. So now it'll be their 41st loss for the Wind Surge. Midland will pick up their 33rd, and now they tie up against Corpus Christi. Well, 2 more ball clubs left here on this night. And so far, that would be Frisco and Amarillo. Boy, close ball game there as it is 7-6. Cade Anderson has the win. The save is Ryan Lotus, and Jackson Wolf gets the loss as getting into this one. I do believe the Rough Riders up for the top half of the 9th inning. But yeah, so far we're going to go ahead and conclude this ball game here tonight. And so far, 2 more. And yes, the fireworks going off right now, and boy, fans are really enjoying that. So yes, have fun watching that tonight. Well, anyway, hope y'all had a pretty good day today. We always do and always will here on MLB The Show. And, yeah, so far a pretty good one. Well, the final score, 1-0. Travelers take the W. And Cade Anderson being that player of the game. And pretty good on that. Join us tomorrow evening as we'll bring you Saturday night fireworks right after the ball game. And so far, we'll hope to see you all again very, very soon. Well, anyway, be safe
and we'll see you again tomorrow evening. Yes, hope y'all have a good, safe travel home. And for Arkansas tonight, that's a congratulations to them. Yeah, it is. All right, everybody, we are off, and so long till tomorrow evening.